Of all the lessons I've learned in my life, these two are the biggest that I wish I would have known sooner. The first I actually did learn pretty early, but the second was pretty recent, but luckily not too late. So what were these lessons? What could possibly be so big that it changed the course of my entire life? Well, they aren't quite that big, but they're an important factor to where I ended up. So today I want to share them with you in hopes that maybe you can put some thought into them and decide if or how they should apply to you, especially but not exclusively if you're a younger person. And the first one is simple, but I feel like not enough people realize it and end up feeling trapped or even enslaved to their situation. And that is that you don't owe your future to anybody. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm talking about when everybody is around you has input on what you should be doing with your life. Things like your parents pushing you into college or into a particular path in college. Friends who might be pushing you into things that could jeopardize your future. Bosses pushing into roles or responsibilities that you don't feel align with your own goals, or inversely, not letting you take on roles and responsibilities that you feel do. So what I just mentioned are three examples from my own life, and in particular, the one about college. 20 years ago, that was really the first time I realized that not only did I have to start making decisions for myself, but that it was okay to do so. Subscribe if you want to see the video I have planned on college, by the way. It should be coming soon. But that decision that I ultimately made to ditch college is what set me off on the path that I'm on today. And as soon as I realized that I didn't owe my parents or high school teachers or anyone else a college degree and that I had to figure out how to make things work for myself, it was kind of my first real taste of freedom. The second lesson, and this is the one that I wish I had learned a lot sooner in life, is that you don't owe your loyalty to anybody. And this is a big one for me because I've always been an extremely loyal person, like to a fault. And what I realized recently is that ultimately the only people you owe loyalty to are yourself and your most immediate family. I'm talking your wife, your husband, your kids, the people that rely on you for survival. And then to a very slightly lesser degree, your old immediate family, your parents, siblings, grandparents, the people who helped you in your formative years. But your current immediate family and yourself have got to come before anyone else because they are the ones most affected by the decisions that you make. Their happiness, their future is directly tied to you. And my problem is that I had my loyalty spread out in all the wrong places, and it was detrimental to me. Friends, for example, are one place I thought loyalty mattered most, and to some degree they should get some, but we're talking social levels of loyalty, nothing more. Your friends should never be above your family because when it comes down to it, you're never going to be above theirs. Another example, I had a boss who I was extremely close to. I'm talking complete loyalty, and I came to learn that loyalty for an employer was incredibly naive. And I realized that that statement's going to get me a giant duh from some of you, but you got to understand it was a super professional relationship that felt like family. We've been through a lot together, and it was quite a wake-up call when it started becoming clear that it wasn't working out. And this was actually the biggest lesson that I learned leading up to my complete life change last year. And the second I realized it, it was the first time since that lesson about college that I had felt that level of freedom. It was liberating, and I wasn't going to let it go again. And the shift in my perspective was powerful and a concrete reminder of the person that I used to be that had somehow been lost along the way. And to be clear, I'm not saying not to be a decent human being. I'm not trying to conflate loyalty with selfishness. I'm just trying to impress upon you that your loyalty needs to be focused and deliberate. And that's it. My two biggest life lessons so far that, when properly applied, changed my life. Let me know in the comments what your biggest life lesson has been. What changed you? And thanks so much for hanging out today. If you made it this far in the video, please do me a favor, toss me a like, hit the subscribe button. It costs nothing, but really does mean the world to me. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.